Hello, welcome to the Unnamed Podcast. We are so freaking close to having all of our tech resolved. How have you been, Matt? It's been a while since we've chatted.
I know, gosh, I've been good. I mean, the holidays were great. Looks like it's gonna be a cool year, 2024. What about you?
Yeah, stuff's been good. Just been trying to get more content out there and capture as many interests as I can onto the channels and try to just connect with an audience and build some momentum. So it's been fun to learn a lot as we've been doing stuff. But yeah, what have you been playing?
I've been playing, so I got for Christmas, I didn't think I was gonna get it, was an OLED Switch. And that has been my jam.
What's the story behind
last month? What's
the story behind getting the OLED Switch?
So I never make Christmas lists. And my wife goes, you're gonna make one this year. And you're just gonna throw whatever you want on it. Like it could be anything. I was like, okay, I'll throw. I was telling Spencer I wanted the Mario OLED Switch. I think it looks really clean, really cool. And I've been really interested in the OLED technology. And we were talking about how in the Switch 2, I don't think they're doing OLED screens. They're doing a different type. So
LCD, yeah.
Yeah, so I was very interested in the tech to see and compare. I love the handhelds. I love handhelds. I collect them. And I like to see and compare and contrast the differences, especially between the visuals with this screen. So I ended up getting the OLED Switch, the Mario one I wanted. And I can't imagine going back to the regular one. It actually looks really good and very clean. So I kind of imagine it as, you know, when you upgrade your phone and you see that new screen with all the new color and more fine pixels. That's what it looks like. And it's you can't know. I try to film it and send you a video, I believe, or maybe it was another friend, the differences and similarities, but it's hard to tell over video. It's a more easy in person to see the difference. So if you're interested in getting one, anyone listening, I really recommend testing one out for yourself. See if you have a friend who has one, and see if it really is a drastic difference to your experience. And for me, it is. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon on it. And
which Pokemon? Which one?
I've been playing the newest one, Scarlet and Violet, the one with all the bugs. And it's famous for all of its technical issues. But the reason why I'm having fun with it is Pokemon's known for having bright colors popping out at you and that fun vibe. So I've been having a ton of fun seeing that pop on my new Switch. But yeah, that's been... Oh, you know what other game I've been playing? The one that you recommended. I've been playing on Switch Kingdom. For the first time. Spencer's always told me he likes it. Mo likes it. It's simple. It's fun. It's got swords. And I like swords, guys. If you guys
the prerequisite.
prerequisite for me to like a game is it has to have a blade, some sort of blade. Anyways, I've been having tons of fun with that. And if you guys don't know what Kingdom is, it's kind of like a tower defense kind of game, but more on a 2D side scroller platform. And so it's really interesting. I recommend going check out some gameplay. It's so I think it's free on PlayStation Plus right now. So if you guys have PlayStation Plus, go check it out and see if you like it, especially if you do like those kind of chill gameplay experiences, like and with a little bit of strategy and that kind of excitement. But it's kind of like it totally eats up your time. it's a slow burn. It's chill. I love it. Thank you for the recommendation, Spencer.
I know, Mo. That's
what
Mo's
games
favorite
have you
game.
Been playing? Sorry.
I've been playing Dredge. I got Dredge for Christmas. Mo's mom gave me an Amazon gift card, and her brother gave me a Switch gift card. So with her brother's Switch gift card, I got Cult of the Lamb because I'd done the demo and done a video on the demo, and I loved it. And it's just like, it's one of those few simulators that feel effortless to get into. Because my problem with a lot of games like Stardew Valley is, since I didn't grow up with them, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing at a certain time. And so I'm like, I got to meet everyone and I don't know where they are. Like, how do I know how to say hi to all the right people and all that stuff? So Cult of the Lamb, since it's more of a action roguelike with some farm sim elements, it's like, okay, well, worst case, I could just go into the dungeons and like get a bunch of loot and then come back and work on my little, it's very small. So if you want like a really deep farming simulator, it's not, I wouldn't recommend it per se. But if you want an action roguelike that will get you into farming simulators, I think it's really good for that. It reminds me a little bit of Atomicrops, which is really similar. And I put like 100 hours into Atomicrops. Yeah. I love that game too. So it's like that blend of like action and farm sim that I really, really like, which I know a lot of farm sims have, but because it has that cultish element, which I really love, anything that has like a cult gothic feel, it works really great. And the music's amazing. The art style's amazing. I highly recommend that. And then let's see. So I got that. I got Dredge physical, and we did an unboxing. I think that comes out tomorrow on our second channel. And so we got Dredge physical deluxe, and then we got, what else did we pick up? Crosscode, because I had played on Game Pass right before it left a game called what's it called? It's like Sea of Stars, and it's made by the Crosscode developers. It is called, it's such a hard name to, Chained Echoes. It's called Chained Echoes.
Chained Echoes. Okay.
I loved Chained Echoes. I highly recommend it if you like Sea of Stars, or if you like, it's based off of like Final Fantasy VI, and what's the other really popular Square Enix one? I have it on my phone. That's kind of like Final Fantasy.
Is Crosscode the girl with the blue hair that shoots, is it discs or laser beam? I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Let's see. My apps. Let's see. The game I'm thinking of that they're all inspired by is, what is that game called?
Chrono Trigger?
It's like by Square. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
There you go.
So it's like a Chrono Trigger like Chained Echoes. And so I just like Chained Echoes because of the art style. It's like so beautiful. And again, I didn't grow up on JRPGs, so to me, it's the one that is the most intuitive for newcomers. And the action battle system is really cool. And eventually you get mechs, which I'm really excited for. But anyways, I got cut off because it left Game Pass. And so I was like torn, like, should I get that? Should I get Cult of the Lamb? So I got Cult of the Lamb and Crosscode so I could like check out their previous JRPG inspired game. And then for my birthday, her brother and sister-in-law sent me another card. So I was like, all right, how am I going to use this one? So I got Persona 3 Portable to play alongside Persona 3 Reload.
No, I've
so I could compare
never
those.
played a Persona. I've never played a Persona. Have you
Really?
got into that yet? Is it good?
So on the 3DS, I've probably put like 5 to 10 hours into Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked, which is I've told you about it, but it's a strategy RPG, and that game's sick. I've played Persona 5, but the traversal in the dungeons gets me stuck, and I'm like, I have to do this with a walkthrough because this is such a dungeon crawler. And I'm so bad at remembering, like, was I supposed to turn left? Like, they want me to go get this thing. And then, like, where is it? And then where's the save room? So that's my one critique with Persona 5 is, like, they do have a map, but it's just so confusing. I get so confused with the traversal.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And, like, people love Persona for those massive mansion style dungeons, and I'm like, I just need a walkthrough to like streamline this process because I get so confused. So I got Persona 3 and I got Persona 4 Golden. So I want to slowly do those playthroughs of those games. So those are the game pickups, and then I've been playing Dragon's Dogma more. I don't know how many hours in I am. Let me see. I've been playing it on the Switch because I think it's a really good Switch game because you could just do a little bit at a time and you'll get sucked into like a boss battle and like fight for like 20 minutes and then die and then be like, okay, I'm going to put this down for a second. Like, and then come back and then like the boss isn't there because, you know, that was just an overworld boss that you like procedurally run into. And so then I found another boss battle that I did win. And so it's like, it's a good game. They don't really like, fast travel, so you're not really fast traveling much. There are ways to fast travel, but it's not like a like just click on the map and go kind of situation, which I like. And so I'm 20 hours into that one, and then War Tales, which I've been texting you about. Super sick game, but I hit a wall, and so I want to make my 11 things I wish I knew about War Tales with all the tips I've picked up. And then I want to look up other YouTubers build guides and stuff because I think I got some good tips from just my playtime with it. But then I need to purge that info from my brain, get it onto the internet, see what people suggest back to me. But also I need to start looking at like some build guides because there's so much more to the game. And like I just keep hitting this wall where it's like I run out of gigs to get enough money to heal and re-armor my guys. So like I think the most amount of guys I've gotten in my crew is like 7 or 8, and I want to get to 10. But like what will happen is I'll go into a battle and I'll be unprepared and I have to retreat more. That's what I've learned. But I'll go into a battle and I'll get like whooped and then I won't have enough money to like heal them. And then that just crashes my economy. And so I need to figure out, and then I've learned mining is super important for keeping that economy going. So I've been mining more and so I need to make that video. I think you would really like that game. But it's brutal.
I really have to check it out because it sounds like a Fire Emblem-esque kind of game. Plus, it's got swords. Can I just say, you sound really good, Spencer? You sound amazing. This microphone. I hear no clipping, nothing. You sound so good.
Yeah, it turns out the Logitech HD 1080p camera is not great for podcasting. Like, because I was using that as my audio. But
okay.
So yeah, now we have the SM7. The thing about our house is, like every room has a setup for the most part, and it's like slowly proliferating the gear into the right rooms for the right headspace. It's like, I want to talk to Matt in my office, not in the main studio. Like, it's not that I'm against talking to you in the main studio, but then that would be on a Mac, and the Mac is for Logic, and all the songwriters that come over want to use Logic, and that computer runs all of my Universal Audio plugins, which are running off of a PCIe card or something. And like, if I switch to PC over there, will that card still run Thunderbolt to the PC? Like, so every room has like a slightly different setup. And I finally,
and you don't want to be always setting up, tearing down, fixing, tampering with stuff. You just want things to work because this is what you do, you know? So I totally get that. But yeah, we're sounding good right now. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we now have moved the Scarlett from Mo's office to my office because she can do meetings in my office now, and she can do all the other stuff in her office. So we've reformulated the gear dispersion amongst the house. So yeah, I'm glad we sound good. So I think this has been a successful tech run through. Is there anything gaming relating you want to talk about before we sign off?
Oh gosh. The biggest one that I wanted to text you about this week was after I saw Mr. Matty's video about Xbox. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
what the heck, man? Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Oi,
yeah,
dude. Crazy.
I mean, I don't think anybody knows. I mean, my guess after watching Matty, I haven't watched Skill Up's channel yet. He's super smart. I really look up to Skill Up and Matty, but I watched Last Stand Media, and so I've seen a lot of their takes, Matty's included. My theory right now is that like when you play Xbox, it's like you just get all their stuff in Game Pass. When I'm on the Switch, like I still see the Outer Worlds, which is now an Xbox published, IP. I still see, Ori in the Blind Forest, or I see, Pillars of Eternity, another Obsidian game, or Skyrim. Like, of course, if Fallout 3 comes out as a remaster, or Oblivion, those are all great ports for the Switch. If you're on Steam, you could, of course, play Halo Infinite. Now the only barrier to cross for them is over to PlayStation. But to a certain extent, they already are there, right? Like, so they're already there with Activision and all that stuff. So my theory is that they're going to just open that floodgate to PlayStation, and that will have a huge impact on Xbox console gamers who want to feel like they have a walled garden that's protected. But for the rest of us gamers who play everywhere, it'll just feel like more of a trickle of that same thing. I do think they should invest in their console market and make sure that there's at least like some kind of exclusivity, but I think the exclusivity is Game Pass. Is that like, well, we have Game Pass over here, so yeah, you could pay $70 for all these games, Avowed, Clockwork Revolution, Elder Scrolls 6. You could pay $70 per game, but if you just want to get an Xbox Game Pass subscription, then that's the cheapest way to be in their ecosystem. But like publishing to more of the systems, I think makes a lot of sense for them because they have so many IPs. They need to make that money somewhere to justify putting it all into Game Pass. Right. So that's my theory, is like they're just going to be introducing more of that pipeline because every studio wants to be able to hit their sales benchmarks. Like they don't want to be like, hey, why are we being penalized because no one's buying our game when you put them out for free on Game Pass? It's like, we could have sold 5 million units on PlayStation 5 and still been in Game Pass. So I love the Xbox console. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's all really, I think that's what they want to do too. But do you also think that once if it's proven that it works out for them where they do make a little bit more capital, have a little bit more cash flow, do you think they're going to end up trying to reinvest into either the tech, any of the studios, to where maybe they might have more incentive for people to buy Xboxes in the future, or even to continue making these consoles and be competitive with PlayStation? Or do you think they're just going to be like, hey,
I think
we're going to make a cheaper option, kind of like a Nintendo. We want to stay in the loop, but like we're not in a race against PlayStation anymore. They have our games too. We're now filling this niche in the market. You know, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that I'd imagine they'd always have some kind of console that's comparable to a PC, like something that's like comparable to a gaming laptop, or comparable to a mid base level kind of modern PC. I don't see why they would not want to keep some kind of pace with like the Steam Deck, the PS5, like the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, what would they lose by keeping up with those specs? And because they're such a software based company, I think they're just deploying the assets to be sold, because the way they win is by software sales. And so I think if you're PlayStation, you're like stoked to have all those games and get your 30%, but you're also fearful of the Activision sales that are going the other way around now. It's like, well, now 70% of Call of Duty is going to Microsoft and 30% is staying with Sony, but it used to not go to Microsoft and now it does. So when if you're Sony and you know that there's Game Pass, as well as the 70% of now maybe like all Bethesda games and all these things, it's like, yes, you're stoked to get that 30% back, but it's a different formula because you're now sending that 70% to Microsoft. So it's, to me, if I'm Microsoft and like, if it was my bosses telling me like, hey, you guys got to sell these games on PS5, I'd be like, sweet, but can we still make consoles and can we still build up our community and still do our best to like make it an enticing ecosystem alongside of those sales? Because like I would want, if I was managing all those studios, I would want for those studios to feel like they're stoked to be in the Xbox ecosystem and not have them feel like they're being penalized for being in the Xbox ecosystem. And so how that will affect the branding of the consoles, I don't know if it'll be a good thing or a bad thing, but I have a feeling that if you're those studios, you're probably stoked if they're like, hey, day and date, you could put out like your Fallout 3 remaster on PlayStation, or you could put out like maybe Fallout 5 will be there as long as you also put it into Game Pass. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, I think, would keep me on Xbox.
Can you imagine them bringing Game Pass as just like kind of like a subscription service, like it is like Netflix, but have it also on PlayStation, where like now like maybe Microsoft is thinking like, I want to be more in the Netflix, the subscription industry, that playing space, and focus more of our branding there, because who cares if you're playing it on PlayStation? You're playing our games on PlayStation. You're sending us money. We're just on that platform now, right? So I'm thinking they might want to do that too. I don't know.
That would be interesting. I don't know how much it would benefit them, because one thing I've been hearing from the podcast that I listen to, like Mr. Matty Plays and all those guys, like I think that the problem is it's not so much getting more subscribers to Game Pass as it is acknowledging that gamers can't consume video games as quickly as they can TV shows and movies. So I would use PlayStation as the counterweight of like, okay, you only have time to play Elder Scrolls for the next year. Give us that $70 as opposed to the $15 a month. And then for the people who are always going to go subscription, then come to our ecosystem and play it for $15 a month. But using the PlayStation players to pay for the service in their more of their walled garden. I think where it would most likely come to is Apple. Like I think it would most likely come to iOS before it would go to PlayStation, because iOS is an ecosystem where people aren't used to spending a lot of money. So those types of spaces would be subscription, but PlayStation and Steam, I think, would be a la carte video game sales.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. I've been seeing comments like, we're going to play Halo on PlayStation. I've been seeing negative comments like,
like Halo Infinite, yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing negative comments even where people are, and I've been feeling this too, so that's why it stuck out to me, of building a physical game library versus a digital library of games. Because what happens when, we've all played games where they stopped providing service for them, whether it's an MMO or even an old game that had great online play. And you're just wondering if I'm going to be taken care of in the future, if this is a good investment for me. I bought tons of games on Switch for a digital library, and I already encountered some frustration with getting my new Switch and trying to open up some online games, and it needs to connect to the internet, get approved that my Nintendo account bought this game, and then I can play it. And so I always need that internet connection to play that, until I finally went online and told like the website that this is my new Switch, and now it doesn't. I don't think it needs to check, or maybe it always checks. I'm not totally sure, but I don't know. I ran into this issue of like, oh, I want to be able to give Caitlin my old Switch so she can play all the games we bought, but is she going to be able to play them at the same time? I don't know. I haven't done all these haven't tested it all out, but it was already just becoming an inconvenience and making my old Switch obsolete. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would be really curious how that works too. Like if that applies to having like multiple Xbox consoles. I don't think it's as bad with Xbox because, when I play a game on my laptop or my console, I don't notice a tremendous amount of disconnect unless it's just totally different installers. And this is assuming you're playing Game Pass. And this is what Xbox benefits from making the subscribers have a really easy time, like Spotify, oh, here I'm logged on my phone, or here I'm on my iPad. Like, they're incentivized for their subscribers to have that. I don't know if they're incentivized to have their a la carte Xbox sales be converted into PC Windows titles, but I think they probably will over time create that seamless ecosystem because that's what they do. Yeah. And same goes with PlayStation. Like Nintendo is a little bit behind in that regards. But I think that, like for the Switch, I try to buy as many physicals as I can for that reason. Like, same with the Xbox if I can. But I think that I don't think Xbox digital games are going to go anywhere because you'll be able to play them on your computer if anything happened or whatever. But I think that the physical component maybe, because if you have a bunch of physical discs and then they don't want you to be able to plug those into a traditional console, that's where I think the Xbox platform would look sketchy in the future. But because they're like PCs, as long as there's something that you could connect a USB to and plug in your license for your physical game, it should work, right? So that I know PlayStation does that too, where it's like you could buy an external optical drive.
I mean, if I learned anything from modding Game Boys, I've learned that if there's a will, there's a way to make anything work. You just got to know how to solder, understand your wires and where to solder that wire into. It's wild. So I'm sure we're gonna be able to see one day some crazy like some guy's gonna have his whole own like gaming room set up that he's modded, and he's a hacker of games. I don't know. I'm imagining some crazy Matrix scenario.
Yeah, and I think like stuff like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, like I'm probably like, what makes the most sense for me is like getting a Steam Deck, because then that kind of merges what I get from playing third-party games on the Switch and what I get from playing like first-party Xbox games on the console, like, or a ROG Ally or something where it's like I could access Steam and I could access Game Pass. Like that would be the best case scenario for me. Right. But I need to go pee. Let me go pee really quickly.
Okay, no problem.
BRB. Okie dokie.
You might appreciate
anything
this.
else?
I just wanted to, you might appreciate this. This is, my brother got me this old original release copy of Final Fantasy, the music from 1987 to 1994. And this is like, it has like a book of like how they made it, and then also the tracks on, CD. But my brother got this for me. It's all in. I'm trying to learn Japanese right now, so he's like, dude, this looks like it's totally something sick. But I know you appreciate video game music, and yeah, this is a little cool piece of history right there.
That's dope. Yeah, we should definitely do a video on it one day, on like Final Fantasy music and stuff. That'd be fun.
I also try to find little cool things while you're in the restroom, just like hold them up. keep the entertainment going.
Yes. Show and tell with Jumby.
Yeah. All right.
Dope. Well, I think we hopefully we will find that this is a high quality audio experience.
Yes, I really want you to text me being like, dude, green light, it's all good. So praying it all works out on your end.
Close.
Yeah, dude, really solid.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for texting me, getting the ball moving with our podcast again. Yeah, this works for me. I set up everything so I can stand and get into it, be part of it. So if we want to start doing this regularly, I'm available. So just let me know.
All right, sick, dude. I will talk to you later. Have a great week.
All right. Later, Spencer.
Peace out. Bye.